So how many of you have any idea about what we're going to do today? I think, Uma, you've attended some sessions, so you have a little bit of an idea. By the way, I always ask people this. What do you think posture is all about? What is posture? You can put it in the chat. You can put it in the...
Neena, posture, according to me, I feel the posture is about bringing the balance between the both the side of our body, and the right posture will give us a less issues in our weight. Also, we distribute in the both the side, both the feet.
Yes.
Even I feel the
perfectly. I didn't know who's speaking. I could only see you
as
Mona.
Sorry, I could not open my video. Mona Gaur. Sorry.
Okay, hi Mona. Are you in Kenya?
I'm in London.
Okay. All right. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Let's start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this session on finding postural balance. My name is Neena. Amongst, I think most of you know me more from the pranic healing background, but apart from pranic healing, I'm also a physiotherapist. I'm a certified postural alignment specialist. I'm a certified pranic psychotherapist. I've been studying and teaching for more than 50% of my life now. I can happily say that. That's been a constant in my life. And the whole idea behind this series of sessions, which we call Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, is to help people find ways to be holistically well. That's the whole idea. And like with all sessions that we start, I'd always like to start with a small prayer. So please put your hands on your heart, close your eyes for a moment. And to whoever you pray to, whoever you believe in, just mentally say, Lord God, thank you for your blessings. Thank you for all your divine guidance, divine help, and divine protection. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for blessing this session and all the attendees with a deeper understanding of the subject at hand. Thank you for blessing us all with finding the right postural balance to lead a happy, pain-free life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So good evening and welcome. I asked the question, what is posture to you? Now, a lot of times when I say, hey, what's your posture? What will everyone do immediately? They'll, immediately sit up straight or whatever. That is not posture, by the way. Posture is what you are subconsciously, unconsciously. That is posture. Not something that you straighten up for 1 second, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then go back into the other posture. So, if I tell everyone, hey, sit up straight, you will, but what will happen? What is your habitual state of sitting? That is what you will go back to. Now, that is what you need to be aware of. Now, if habitually you're always in the right positioning, that is the right posture. Now, very few people, of course, have that right posture, but let's just go into, what this whole session and how I came about. Actually, I've been interested in posture from a very, very long time. Back in 98, 99, I used to keep thinking, why do people have such horrible postures wherever you go? And recently attending an online seminar, I came across this beautiful structured course, which I did from a US-based university called the Egoscue University. And whatever I'm teaching you, of course, is from my background as a physio, but largely thanks to what I did at this university. And 2 books that I recommend that everyone read. One is this one. It's called Pain Free. And you can see it by Pete Egoscue. And by the same author, we have something called Health Through Motion. So if you can get your hands on that, Health Through Motion is also available on the Kindle. Pain Free in India is not available on Kindle. You'll have to order the hard copy. But these are books worth reading and investing into. They will give you a better understanding of what I'm going to be talking about today. Okay. Now, I'll share my screen. I'll give a short talk. And then we'll actually, this whole session is going to be experiential. So I hope you are prepared to do some exercises. We will be asking you to move a little bit, to check, to evaluate. I will at the end also give you certain basic exercises. Of course, what I'm going to be talking about, disclaimer, is a general thing. It's not a particular thing related to various, particular issues. I'm going to be just giving a general overview, and let's see later on, maybe I'll follow up with sessions on specific things. Okay. So can you see my, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for giving me that. So like over here, I said, don't just live, you must live pain-free. And the whole idea, what Pete says, is that an active lifestyle is not only possible, but actually that is the way we should be. No matter what your age, no matter what your previous experiences. How many of us over here believe that as we grow older, the body starts having joint aches, issues, weak muscles, weak bones, etc., etc.? How many of us believe that? Okay. By the way, like we know, I know most of us, I don't know how many of us are here from a non-pranic healing background, but most of us know that our bodies have a lot more capacity than we give them credit for. And when patients come, and this is what I found even in this whole course, patient will come to you and say, my knee is hurting, my back is hurting. And normally it is not both the knees, it's one knee, or it's one shoulder, or one side of the back and all that. And then what will they say, or what will the doctors, a lot of times doctors say to them, why is it hurting? Ye to old age hai. It's already, you're growing old, so this is expected at this age. I used to, by the way, say that too, because that's what I'd studied. But then you have to ask yourself the question, and I like the way Pete describes it. He says, is only one knee growing old? Is only one shoulder growing old? What about the rest of your body? Is that not growing old also? So how come only one part of your body is hurting and not the other? Are you getting what I'm saying? We have to think like that. Our body is made as a whole, and the ideal posture, which very few people have, I will show you in a minute, you start getting pains and problems in your body when it goes out of alignment, whether it's a physical misalignment, an energetic misalignment, and we'll talk about the energy part in another session maybe, but a lot of you I know already know what I'm saying, or an emotional misalignment, emotional, whatever, but when the body is not in a state of balance, that leads to pain and disease. We all agree with that, I hope. Now, if you look at the house or the picture, which I picked up from the internet, by the way, it's not mine, would you want to go into a shed like this? Why not? It can fall, it can collapse anytime, it's not sturdy, and you'll be at risk of injuring yourself. So then, why do we want to keep our body out of alignment? When we don't have our body in alignment, I'm talking about the physical body right now, that is what we are moving around in. And if you think that is a stable structure, it's not. So the moment when you're born, usually, most of us, I'm not talking about people who are born with certain difficulties, but most people who are born healthy are born with a perfect posture and are given the tools to develop a perfect posture. But as we grow up, we get corrupted, and that's what leads eventually to pain and dysfunction. So if your body is not in perfect alignment, and when we talk about alignment, I'll just show you what is perfect alignment, then some part of your body will get worn out faster than the other. So think about, take the analogy of a car. How many of you drive? When you drive, do you know the basics that your tires have to have a certain amount of air pressure in them? Your engine has to be well oiled, etc., etc. If you keep the car standing for a long time or stationary for a long time, what happens to the tires? What happens to the engine? The battery goes down. The engine will not be well lubricated. The tires will deflate, right? And then if you try to move the car on that, what will happen? There'll be trouble or something will break down somewhere. The same thing is with our body. Our bodies are made to move. And thanks to that whole structure that we have, the muscles and joints in our body, we are able to do so many things. We are mobile. We are able to sit, stand, play, skip, jump, climb trees, climb mountains, so many other things. But we know that today's life is making us more and more sedentary. And while a lot of people come and say, hey, I go for 1 hour of gymming, that should be enough. No, it's not. You can be going to the gym and everything, but if your body is not in alignment, you will actually end up injuring and hurting yourself. I know a lot of athletes, I know a lot of people who go regularly to the gym, and they come to us because they have some pain or the other. Okay, so the one thing that we follow, which is very much in line and why I love the philosophy of this school that I studied in, is they treat you as a whole. They do not look at one part alone. I will give time for questions at the end, okay? So they don't look at one part as, it's not that if one part is not functioning, they'll only focus on that part. You have to look at yourself as a whole. You're not just your hand. You're not just your knee. You're not just your shoulder or your back. You are everything together, right? So the ideal posture is here. This is how you should be. And like I said already, by the way, very few people have the ideal posture. Okay, so you have 8 load joints, 8 stacking units, and they should be stacked vertically and also front and back and horizontally. So if you look, your body is made, our body is made in a symmetrical structure. The left and right are equal. If you divide the body from the middle, you have 2 equal halves, at least looking at the frontal view or the back view. Now from the side, on the other hand, your ear, if you can see my pointer, can you? The ear has to be right above the shoulder, above the elbow, above the hip, knee, and it comes down to this lateral malleolus of your ankle. From this front, you can see there are 8 load joints. You have the shoulders, you have the hips, you have the knees, and again, you have the ankles or the feet. They should ideally be more or less stacked one above the other. Not forward, not backward, not sideways, not this thing. This is an ideal posture. And what is happening to people today is they are deviating from this posture. Now, what happens when you deviate from the perfect posture? Your posture is our body is supposed to hold and move certain muscles in a certain way. Now, the rule is that bones follow what muscles ask them to do. So if your body is not in alignment, certain muscles will become longer than they should be. Certain muscles will become shorter than they should be. Your internal organs also get misplaced. Have you seen people who, for example, have a little fat on their bellies? What happens? There's a bigger arch. They become like a little duck with a larger lordosis or a larger arch in the back. What do you think happens to the internal organs of the gut then? They get misplaced. And when the internal organs get misplaced, they also do not function properly. So though we do not give posture that much importance, actually the right alignment is super important also for the proper functioning of our internal organs. Another major reason for disease is the improper draining of lymph fluid. Do you know that? We have something called lymphatic fluid in our body. Now, again, if your body is out of alignment or if certain areas of your body are not working properly, one of the instructors, and in fact, he's the one of the heads of Egoscue University, he calls it getting fat, but not FAT fat. He calls it PHAT fat, as in the lymphatic drainage not happening and that getting stored in the body and not releasing the diseased toxins, etc. So all of that gets affected just by the body alignment. All right. Now, how do you get your body into alignment? What is it that you need to do? Our body is designed to move. And if we don't move our body, it will fall out of alignment. Why do you think we have certain diseases, which absolutely today we call them lifestyle diseases? What is it that you do most of the time in your day-to-day? What is it that you do most of the time? Are you walking around, jumping around, sitting? What?
Sitting.
The answer will change. Maybe, there are people who are very active. I don't know. But how many of us are actually doing desk jobs, or are we sitting? Thanks to all the mechanical aids that we've been given, how many of us are actually moving? Think back compared to your grandparents. How many of us are moving as much as our grandparents moved around? Not everyone. Maybe some of us are, but not everyone. Now, whatever area we don't move will start becoming more and more dysfunctional. Now, what I liked about this school is that they said, can you change that? Can you change your lifestyle today? Sometimes our jobs demand us to be seated. What are you going to do? So it's never about, I heard a friend of mine complaining the other day, she was working in this office and she said, oh, the chair in that office was really uncomfortable. The answer to that is, it's not the chair, it's the body that you take to the chair that needs to be prepared for that chair. It's not your bed, it's the body that you're taking to the bed when you're sleeping that needs to be ready to go to that bed. If you correct your body, sitting here or there, sleeping in a different kind of a bed should not be a problem. Okay, so what do? You learn and do certain basic exercises that keep us functional. Okay, now when you have pain, what is pain? Pain is nothing but a symptom. It's your body trying to tell you, hey, pay attention, something is not right. Something is out of alignment, something is out of balance. Now, if we don't pay attention, we keep, what do we do when we have pain? Some of us rest, some of us a lot of us take pills, and we just hide the pain. The pain is a symptom, it's not a root cause. So a major place and a major difference in this school that I found is, you don't look at the symptom at all. You look at the body as a whole. You try to go to the root cause and not at the symptom. If you have pain and you just treat, for example, let's take the example of the knee. If you have one knee that is paining, most likely it is not the root cause of the pain. It is compensating for something else in the body that is not working, and that is why we have pain. So if you look and treat that knee, which is what a lot of people do, as a physio, they'll say, okay, you put heat on it, you put ultrasonic treatment, this, that, but we are not treating the root cause. The symptom may subside temporarily, but if you've not taken care of the root cause, what do you think will happen? It'll come back. Okay. The other difference between following the postural alignment therapy is where, in a case of a physio or a chiropractor or an ortho at all, the patient is more passive. Here, the therapy involves the subject to actively participate. I mean, as a postural alignment therapist, I don't do anything. I only guide. You have to do the work. You have to guide your body back into position. There is no manipulating, there is no this thing. But even if you're going to a physio or to a chiro, if you do certain practices before and after, you will actually help them help you faster, because you will become an active participant in your posture. So again, reminder, ideally, if you're interested in the subject, do pick up this book, Pain Free by Pete Egoscue. I'll type it down in the chat, or someone can type it down in the chat later. Do pick up that book, go through that book. It'll really help you gain an understanding of what we do that. All right. So how do you eliminate any pain or misalignment in the body? By slowly guiding your muscles, which will then bring the bones back to where they're supposed to be. Because remember, the premise is bones do what muscles tell them to do. Okay, now another thing that is happening is these days. So it's again a picture I picked up of the internet. But if you look at it, how many people do you see like this? It's amazing when I'm traveling nowadays on the airports, bus stops, metros. This text neck posture, hunched over shoulders are becoming alarmingly common. In fact, I see very, very young kids now, teenagers, I would say even younger children already with this hunch coming out. Now, what do you think happens when you are hunched like that? By the way, did you know when you sit down, there is pressure on the body? If you look at this report, which was, I forget the people who prepared this report and study, I forget their name. They've got a very complicated name, but again, it's not mine. I picked it up from their study. If you look at it, this is the kind of pressure that happens when you are sitting down. The least pressure on your spine is when you're in the supine position or the lying down position. When you go onto your side, it goes up to 75%. When you're standing, which is how our body is supposed to be, because we are, as a species, we are not supposed to be quadrupeds, we are supposed to be bipeds. So when we stand, that's the complete pressure on our spine, and our spine is designed to take that pressure. Now, the moment you start bending forward, and if you try to lift a weight in that bent position, or you sit down leaning backwards, or you sit, hunching forwards, and then if you're hunching forwards on a bench or a desk, especially working on your computers, hunched over like that, just look at it, 275% of pressure on your spine. Don't you think the spine will give in? I mean, if you keep putting pressure on something like that again and again, every time you sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, your knees, your spine, everything is getting worn. You can prevent it. You can't stop sitting, you can't stop working, but just by being aware and mindful, you can prevent a lot of damage. And actually, coming from the School of Pranic Healing, we believe that the body, it's based on two basic principles. What's that? The body can heal itself. We all have the innate capacity to heal ourselves. And to heal ourselves, we need energy. Now, that is on the energetic part of you, but you also have to take care on the physical part. You can't just keep doing energy healing, but mistreating the body and not correcting the posture. Even our teacher, he says, you have to follow a balanced approach. So do what is necessary physically, add on what is necessary energetically. When you combine the two, that is when you have healing that happens. Now, I'm of course of the opinion, and I think everybody will agree, we should try to prevent. Prevention is better than cure. So ideally, we should try and prevent our body from getting damaged. But even if it is damaged, you can take corrective steps, irrespective of the age you're in. If you were to see some of the people we've helped, you'd be really, really amazed at the kind of changes that have come about. Some of you are attending the sessions here, I know, and later on, maybe if you have time, maybe they can share their experience. But just by doing very simple exercises, you can start making changes. And I want to make this session experiential, so I'm going to go into that very shortly. All right, so let's go forward. Not this. Okay, so I'd like everyone to now stand up. Let's start by doing a little test on our posture. Somebody had raised the hand. Vijay, you had raised the hand. Did you want to ask something? Or is it okay? Shall we just go on? All right. So can I request everyone to just please stand up? And let's see, let's try and get a little aware about our postures. Okay. So what I'd like you to do, stand up straight and close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, by the way, I invite everyone to participate because, like I said, this is experiential. It's only when you participate, you will understand what I'm talking about. So, of course, if you don't want to, there's no obligation, but I invite you to follow me. So close your eyes, keep your eyes closed, and just march in place, just go left, right with your foot. Keep your eyes closed and just march in place. Just do about 10 marches and then stop. And keep your eyes closed. Don't open them yet. Keep your eyes closed. What I want you to do is stop, just stand still. Don't change your position. Keep your eyes closed. The first thing I'd like you to do is pay attention to where you're feeling your weight. Do you feel more weight on the left, on the right? Do you feel you're leaning forward? Do you feel you're swinging backwards? Just be aware of how your body is feeling. Where is your weight falling on? Which area of your body? Next, I'd like you to just stay, don't move, just open your eyes and look down at your feet. Okay, now are your feet, look at I'm showing you my hands, not my feet. Are your feet both facing forwards? Is one facing slightly outwards? Are both facing outwards? Are both facing inwards? Is one outwards, one inwards? Take note of your feet. Okay, don't move. This is your posture. This is how you would normally stand and talk to a friend, right? Just right now, we're just observing. The next thing I'd like you all to observe is on your feet. Pay attention to where you are standing right now. Now pay attention to each of the foot. Does one foot feel more pressure than the other one? Is the pressure more on the toes? Is the pressure more on the heels? If you look at your shoes, do your shoes wear out evenly, or is the heel or the inner side of the heel or the inner side of the foot wearing out more, or the outer side wearing out more? That also tells us a lot about how your posture is. So if your foot, for example, one of the feet, most people have everted feet, we call this everted, slightly outward pointing, then that means one of your hips or both of your hips are not in position, which means your knees are going to take extra pressure, which also means probably you have shoulder pain, because it'll, it's like a chain. It's a unit that functions. Your shoulders will also get affected. Your spine curve will also get affected. What you can also do to evaluate yourself later on maybe is ask someone to actually take pictures of you from the front, the side, the back, and the side, and check in comparison to that perfect posture picture that I'd shown you. If both your shoulders are at the same level, are higher, shorter, whatever, Now, next thing that I'd like you to do is, like I said in the message, which was announcing this session, is find yourself a plain wall. I hope you made note, because we are going to do some exercises and then we will check this again. Find yourself a plain wall. I'm going to carry my comp with me to the wall, or maybe I'll leave it here if you can hear me. Stand with your heels touching the wall. Stand against the wall. Your heels should be touching the floor of the, just right against the wall. And without making too much effort, just try to be against the wall. Now, you shouldn't have to push your head back or your shoulders back. Stand and see. How do you stand against the wall? Is everything in your back touching the wall equally? Is one shoulder touching more, one hip touching more, one calf touching more? Do you have to really take your head back to make your head touch? Ideally, if your posture is right, you should not have to lift your chin at all. If you're lifting your chin, as I can see in some of the pictures, if you're having to lift your chin, that means you have a forward neck posture, which is very, very common today, thanks to the use of computers, cell phones, etc., etc., etc. So if you're having to do that, you probably have what we call text neck or a forward neck posture. Okay, so this is another test. Now, also, the next thing I'd like you to do is just do this for your own observation. Walk around, take a few steps around. I don't need to see you on the camera. Walk around and see, when you're walking, pay attention to how is your foot striking the foot? Is it heel first, toe first? When you walk, do you feel the pressure on both the legs equally? Or is there a difference between the right and the left? Now, all of this, I'd like you to just observe for yourself. I don't need to know. And after this, I'm going to invite you to do a few exercises, and then we will see what changes. Just walk around, feel this thing. Remember to just observe how you're feeling as you're walking around. All right, please come back. Now, how many of you are on a chair? How many of you spend a lot of time sitting? Anyone? Okay. Okay. So would you like to sit down on the chair that you normally sit on, or a similar chair? And let's see if we can do one little exercise. So what I'd like you to do, whatever chair you're sitting on, don't sit right at the back. Okay. I don't know how far you can see my chair right now, but let me move back. I want you to sit at the edge of the chair, please. Sit at the edge of your chair. And bring your knees together. Press your knees. Take your hands at the back and grab your elbows. So just grab your elbows. Now, what I want you to do is, as you're sitting, you're pressing your knees together. Make sure your toes are pointing straight ahead, not leftwards and rightwards, but they're pointing straight ahead. Keep pressing your knee. Just press your knees together. Imagine you're holding something between your knees. So press your thighs and knees together. Now, in your hands in this position, just pinch your shoulder blades. So what I want you to do is pull your shoulders away from the ears and just pinch your shoulder blades. Let's do 10 of them. Try to just pinch your shoulders. So try to bring your shoulder blades together. Relax. Okay. Keep holding your elbows. Inhale and exhale slowly. Bring your shoulder blades together. Relax. Bring your shoulder blades together. Relax. You probably feel a little stretch here. Now, if you feel tension, you feel stretch, that is okay. If you feel pain, please do not do any exercise. I tell you, pain means your body doesn't want to do it right now. It's not ready for it. But if you feel a little stretch, if you feel a little tension, that's absolutely fine. So let's do 10 of these. 1, 2, 3. Pinch your shoulder blades. 4. Keep looking straight. Don't look at me. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, in this position, again, remember to keep your knees pressed together. Don't release the pressure on your thighs. Okay.
I just missed out the instruction about the back. Can you please, because I logged in back.
I'm just saying, hold your elbows, sit at the edge of the chair, press your knees together, feet facing forwards, and pinch your shoulder blades. We've done that 10 times. In the same position, just lean your neck backwards. Now, only if you can do it pain-free. Please do not, when you're doing this, do not let your chest arch. Just lean your neck forward, back. Take a deep breath, count till 10, come back. Okay. Relax and come back. Now, the next thing I'd like you to do is stand up. Now, when you're standing up, please pay attention to how you stand up. Okay, sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. 2, 3 times. Okay, how many of you, look at me, how many of you tend to stand up holding the side of the chair or the bed or whatever? Do you stand up like that? Do you put your hands on your knees and then stand up? Okay, do one thing today. When you go to the washroom, when you sit on the pot, and when you stand up from the pot, you try and observe how you stand up. How do you stand up? Do you push down on the sides of the chair and then stand up? Or do you just stand up straight like that? Now, if you're doing this and standing up, what do you think you're doing? Which muscles are you using? Your shoulders. And the people who are doing that, do you tend to have pain in your knees? The reason is that the main muscle that should be used is not doing its work. There are compensatory muscles, and that is why there is pain in the knees. And a lot of people messaged me even in my direct message saying, yes, 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 yes. The reason is you will do more and more of it because you think, oh, my knee is weak, I need support. But the lesser you use the knee, guess what? It'll become weaker and weaker and weaker and not better. How many people do you know who stop sitting and squatting on the floor as they get older? If you're putting pressure on the thighs, again, same problem, same issue. You're using compensatory movement. You're not using the main flexor, which is supposed to actually use up 50% of your body's energy. Now, how many times in the day do you stand and sit, stand and sit, stand and sit? If you're doing it in the wrong manner, don't you think you're causing wear and tear? How many people do you know, like I was saying, by the time they reach a certain age, they stop sitting niche. They stop sitting in the lotus pose. They can't squat. They can't sit alti palti marke and get up. Or if they, sit on the ground and they have to get up, they need support. Why do you think that happens? How many people, there are so many cases of knee replacement therapies these days. The reason is you stop using certain muscles and those muscles are happy not being used. It's like, hey, someone else is doing my job. Why should I work? Now make the change. Do this again with me. So I'm going to take my chair back. You sit down. I want you to slouch on the chair. Actually slouch. Okay. Now I want you to sit up straight on the chair. And if I put my chair to the side, let this small of the back, curve of the back come. So this is slouching. Come up straight as if someone's pulling you right up from the top of your head. And do not use your hands. Put your hands up if you have to. Do not use your hands. Use your hip flexors and stand up. Sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. And consciously remind yourself to do this every time. Not using your hands, not putting pressure on your knees. You should be able to stand up. First, just straighten your body. Let the pelvic roll forward. And then get up. That's when you're using your hip flexors. That's the right manner. So just mindfully put this into your daily practice every time you sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up. All right. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to stand up. These are very simple and common exercises. Okay, look at my hands. Make a grip like this. So your fingers are curled till your knuckles. Your thumb is straight like that. Okay, this is called the golfer's grip. Now, what I want you to do is stand with your toes. Okay, let me see if I can show you my toes. Stand with your toes about, I don't know if you can see my toes right now. Okay, here. Can you see them? Now, stand with your feet hip width apart. There should be just about one fist distance between the toes. They should be pointing forwards, not like this. They should be pointing forwards. Okay, in this position, feet facing forwards, hands like that, take them up, okay, and just do circles. So move your hands. Now, make sure you're not going this way, not going that way. Keep your body relaxed and just make short circles, fast ones. Let's do 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Reverse. Let the thumb point backwards, opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Relax, shake your hands. Done? Was everyone able to do that? Okay, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to test again what happened to our standing posture. So close your eyes like we did in the beginning. Okay, march in place. Close your eyes and march in place. Stop. Keep your eyes closed. And again, observe your weight. Is it the same as it was before? Is it more on one side? Is it more balanced? Next, look down at your feet. Observe your feet. Observe the weight distribution in your feet. Did it change? Can anyone give me some feedback? What happened? We've just done 2 exercises right now.
Yeah, I think we all improved a little bit. We are conscious of what you're doing now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think mine improved definitely.
Very good. We're not finished, by the way. We're going to do some more and we're going to check.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Yeah, my right. Okay.
Yes.
My right foot was pointing slightly towards the right, and the left was properly done. But after the second time, both were properly pointing straight.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have flat foot problem, and that is plantar. I don't know what do they call it. So after doing the exercise, my balance was more stable, more.
And this is just one exercise. Thank you for sharing. Are you ready for more? Please stand up. This time, same. This is called the golfer's grip. Okay. Same thing. Your feet, one fist width apart. Bring these to your ears and keep your body straight. So my body should not lean back or forward. Keep it straight and just consciously push your shoulders down and back. So not like this, push your shoulders down and back, let your shoulder blades pinch, and let's do just 10 rolls. These are called elbow curls. So keep your hands here, take them all the way back, all the way front, just do 10 of these. Stand straight, just do 10 of these. Okay. Lastly, this time I want your feet to be pigeon-toed. So put your toes together. I'll show you my feet again. Let me see. So this time your feet, your toes have to be, can you see, touching together. Okay, this is called being pigeon-toed. I'd like you to stand pigeon-toed, please. So your toes touching together. Stand straight, keep your body relaxed. Take your hands, clasp them, put them behind your head. Now don't let yourself bend forward. Don't let yourself bend backwards. Just keep your hands here. Keep your feet in the pigeon-toe position. Breathe easy. Relax your abdominal. Your abdominal will tend to tighten up. Don't do that. Lock your thighs, lock your knees. Don't let them bend. Just lock them and hold this position. Keeping your hands there. The key is keeping your shoulders pushed down and back. Imagine you're pinching or holding a little coin between your shoulder blades. Keep your feet pigeon-toed. Keep your thighs locked. And just hold the position for a minute. I'm looking at a minute. Once we're done a minute, I'll tell you to stop. Throughout, your neck will tend to come forward or your elbows will start coming forward. Remind yourself to push your elbows back. Push your shoulders away from the ears. Keep your knees and thighs locked. Push your elbows back, back. Don't let them come forward. Push them back. Keep them back. Another 30 seconds. Breathe easy. Don't hold your breath. Just inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Okay, relax. Shake your hands. For some of you, it would have been a little difficult doing this, yeah? You know, actually, we also part of the corrective therapy is to walk, put your hands around behind your head like this and walk around. So that's the next thing you're going to do. Take your hands back up and just take about 20 steps. Walk around, move around. Remember to keep your shoulder blades pinched, please. So shoulders away from the ear, shoulder blades pinched, and just walk around. Okay, please come back. All right, time again to check if something changed. Close your eyes, march in place. Take about 5-6 steps. Stop, stand, keep your eyes closed. Observe your weight distribution. Pay attention to your feet. Has something changed? All the things that we tried to notice earlier on, pay attention. Now also walk around with your eyes open, normally like you walk around, and check, has your gait changed?
Yes.
And
First, I was.
What is changed? What is changed?
Has your walk
I
changed?
was. Yeah. I was walking first. It was on wheels, but now the weight first I'm putting.
When you're walking, you should first have heel strike, then toe, heel strike, then toe. Even if you have flat feet, that's the way it is. Now, you see, if your posture is out of sync, problems like plantar fasciitis, problems like hip pain, back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain. Oftentimes when people come to me with a shoulder pain, I look at their pelvis, it's out of alignment. Lastly, I'd like you to go back to the wall, stand again next to the wall and see has something changed. Stand with your heels close to the wall. Pay attention. Are you feeling all the parts of your body touching the wall equally? Is it different from the first time? Now, listen, one session may not correct everything up. This is just a general session. Everybody's body is different. They will need separate and different this thing. But this is just to give you a general overview. Is it different? Can I have some feedback?
The body feels aligned and light.
It feels lighter, aligned. Thank you. Anyone else?
Before, when I was trying to put my head back to the rest of the wall, I was having a pain in my shoulder, right shoulder. But now when I'm trying to put my whole body against the wall, I don't feel that pain in my right shoulder.
Excellent. Anyone else?
Yeah, earlier the
Nina,
shoulders-
thank you for this session. My body is in alignment except the neck, everything it's done with ease. I mean, much better. But I'm still, my weight is on, I have felt the weight is more on left knee. So I
You just
have
need to
faced
work
some
a little
problem
more.
in
You
the
need to
knee.
work. So you'll have to work more. See, so, you know, what we do is what I've given you today is just a very general overview. Like I said, this is a general session. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's posture where you're starting from is different. But here's what you can do every day already as a point to start off from. So every day in the morning, you should be doing your exercises. When you stand now, mindfully stand with your feet facing forward. Try to avoid having feet standing one out, one this side, you know, that's it. It causes tibial rotations, femoral rotations, hip rotations, etc. Try to stand both feet forward. That's one. Two, start with this exercise that I said, you know, with your hands in golfer's grip. They are called arm circles. Stand with your feet apart, one fist width, and do 20 circles in one direction, 20 in the other. Then do your elbow curls. Okay, do your elbow curls. Thirdly, when you, if you're sitting in a desk job, every hour, just take your hands behind your back, grab onto your elbows, pinch your shoulder blades, and then stretch upwards. Okay, these are especially people who have a desk job. If you do this regularly, you'll see a lot of change in that. And lastly, when you get up from your seat, remember not to push down on the sides of your chair, not to push down with your hands bearing the force on your legs. Remember to straighten up your pelvis, roll it up, and then stand using your hip muscles. Those are the muscles that are supposed to be used. Okay, for now, I'm not going to give too many exercises, but even if you do these, you will see that your posture will change. A good thing is to keep going back to that wall and seeing has your body started realigning a bit or not. A lot of us are twisted or turned or, you know, now people who have specific issues, this is a very general thing. Like I said, we need to then check your specific body type and then give specific corrections for that. Yeah. Mona, you have a question?
Yes, Nina, like I'm using my bifocal. So whenever I'm doing the session, like just now also, I have to tilt my head up to see from the lower part. So this is always in...
Not a good idea.
Hmm.
Then you better take different specs.
Okay.
Or if you have to, then you do some exercises which which bring back this area into position. Because if you're constantly going to be like that, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it is
So,
the gene.
usually the beauty of postural therapy is any therapy takes about 15 to 20 minutes of exercises once or twice a day. And they're very simple, easy to do, but you have to do them every day. And already, I hope this session may have served one purpose, is to make you aware that there is something called alignment of the body. A lot of us don't pay attention to that. If you pay attention and you keep moving, the body is made for movement. It's not made for being sedentary. So if you keep moving your body, it will stay active. If you move it in the wrong way, then certain muscles will, start compensating and taking over, and that's not going to be great. Just a moment. Yeah, Vijay, please go ahead.
Yes, actually, on February 22nd, I met with a road accident. So I had a fracture in my left patella.
Mm-hmm.
So it was healed in conservative way only. No surgery was required. But after 6 weeks of pad, physiotherapy had taken place, which was very painful. But I gained the flexibility, but the strength is still not recovered after
So
3
Vijay, that's what I'm saying. Then they'll see if you have had an injury and all, then there'll be a specific program. Here, I'm just doing a general session, but there are programs I would always recommend.
Okay.
Any person who comes to me, even as a client, I tell them, read the book. You'll get a lot of answers in the book. If you want to take therapy, of course, you can contact me and, I can take up professionally sessions. But meanwhile, read the book. It'll give you an idea. Tarun, Baba, you have a question? Tarun, you can
after doing the exercise, you told, I felt I'm feeling discomfort in the
I'm sorry, your voice is breaking, Tarun. I can't hear you.
Ma'am, I'm feeling discomfort in my knee, right knee, and
Okay,
right
then
knee.
you don't do these exercises. Like I said, what I'm saying here is usually okay for most people. But if somebody feels pain, then please don't do the exercises. We don't
Yeah,
believe
I just
pain, no
I
pain,
just
no
wanted
gain.
to know what is the reason for it.
I
Before
have
the
to then
exercise,
look at your body, evaluate it, and then let you know. The book is pain-free, or you can also look at health.
ma'am, which book? Basic book.
No, this is not a pranic healing book. So that's the book.
Ma'am, I felt this, but after doing the exercises, before I was okay. Before
Yeah, so
starting
maybe
the
these
exercises,
exercises. So
I was
maybe
okay.
the exercises I did today are mostly thoracic driven. Maybe you need more hip driven exercises. I'll really have to evaluate separately. Pallavi, would you like to go next? You need to unmute yourself. Taran, I'll have to look at you separately and tell you. I won't be able to tell you just like that. Maybe you need exercises more to activate the lower part of the body. Yeah, Pallavi, please go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to share here with all the participants that I have taken consultation from Nina, and there has been tremendous improvement in my posture and my pain also. I had whole body pain, and so I have improved so much that now I have taken up yoga classes. I am also doing regular walking, which I was not being able to do. Thank you so much, Nina.
Thank you, Pallavi. Thank you for sharing. But I have to say the credit goes to you also. You diligently did everything I asked you to. So the beauty with Pallavi was she seems to have become taller and she seems to have lost weight.
Yeah.
She was telling me that she's not really lost weight, but the posture changes and that happens. Yes, we do. I would say 99% of my consultations are online. And yeah, so basically you can contact us separately for a personal session. Normally we advise at least a series of 8 to 12 sessions. Okay, so the first few sessions are done once a week and then later on at a greater distance from each other. But whether or not, like I said, start educating yourself about posture, start watching out, start doing just these simple exercises. These are exercises you can do anywhere. You can do them at the airport. You can do them, in your office, and already they will help you a lot keeping your body aligned. Preeti, you would like to ask something?
Yeah, Nina, just one request. In case you can take specific sessions like for shoulders, for knees, for something like that.
We will. Today is just a general session,
Maybe
but
future.
Yeah, we will. We plan that anyway. So
Thank
we will
you.
do
Thank
some
you, Neela.
sessions
Thank you.
like that. And this was just an introduction and to, get people to just become aware of what the body is. We don't normally, especially in a country like us, trust me, right now, for me, it's become almost like when I'm at the airport, I'm looking at people and like, okay, that guy's got a backache, that guy's got a shoulder ache, that guy's got this problem. And I have to say, no, stop looking, because it's just all around. And especially when I see kids, it almost pains me that that's what we are bringing ourselves to. So of course, every body type, like I said, is different. We have sessions which are tailored to different needs. We do not look at symptoms. We look at the body as a whole. As soon as the body comes back to where it was, the problem goes away because the root cause has to be taken care of. Okay, so the idea is, if you have to be seated, you prepare your body, like what Brian Bradley, I'm quoting him, he would say, and I think he quotes Pete Egoscue, treat seating as being seated all day long as a sport and prepare your body for the sport. If you have to run a marathon, you prepare for the marathon, right? So if you have to be seated, you prepare your body to be seated. And that's how you take care of it. So, okay, with that, I think we're more or less done. I'm going to, I think the number everybody has, you can send us a WhatsApp. We do not normally take calls. You can send us a WhatsApp. You can take an appointment if you'd like to for a personalized session. And that's that. Otherwise, like I said, just read up, inform yourself and check. Okay.
आपका नमस्ते लीना।
Atma namaste. How are you?
मैं भी अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करूंगी। मेरे को बहुत लेग में पेन था कि मैं मतलब बहुत 10 कदम भी नहीं चल पाती थी, कभी कभी इतना ज्यादा पेन होता था। लेकिन 2-3 एक्सरसाइज आपने बताई, मैंने डेली की 10 days तक। Now I am fine. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. Thank you. Deep. Neetu is also very particular. She also has been very consistent with her exercise. So these things only work if you work. They don't work by just learning. You have to actually put it into practice, like anything else. Deep, you had something to ask?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I want to ask that जो आपने भी exercise बताई है, वो जो pain free book है, उसमें सब है ये exercise?
I'm taking it from there only. So pain free and even the health through motion, either of the books that you take up will give you an idea of what posture is, how to check. There are different body types. There's a condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. You'll be able to do a little, most people are a mix of this. You'll be able to at least start off with that. Personalize this thing, you need to contact a postural therapy specialist and they will help you. And what I've seen is, even if you're going in for physiotherapy or whatever, I've had cases where surgery has not been required, where, the body is straightened up. It takes time, depending. Someone will have a result in 10 days, someone may take 6 months. For some people, it'll be a gradual process, but most people can be helped using the correct posture. And it's something that, unfortunately, so far, I don't see many people paying attention to. That's the reason I included this session in this series.
Okay, ma'am, one book is pain free and another one is?
Either, you pick up either of the two. Pain free is the latest edition. The other one is the previous edition. You can pick up either of the two.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So with that, we will be saying a thank you prayer. Let's just close the session. I've put the WhatsApp number. You can take an appointment. And if you want, and then we'll take it from there. But like I said, you'll have to give time for it. Right. Let's just put our hands on our heart. Let's say a prayer to the Divine Supreme Being. We thank you for your blessings. Thank you for this opportunity to bring us together. Thank you for blessing everyone with a pain-free life. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining in. And we're almost in. I think I'm glad I'm finishing in time for once. So I'll see you next time. You can find updates on our sessions on our WhatsApp group, on our Instagram page, and our Facebook page. And I've put in the numbers. Contacts are also there.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Nina. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for joining in. Bye-bye.